much folks don't know, even activists and scholars in the space. So we're going to keep this up. Freedman Friday today, we'll be talking with attorney Sharice Cryer. We'll open up the phone lines in hour 3. They're always open, but there's going to be a lot of space there in hour 3 for you at 800-920-1580. And then, of course, we kick off our Freedman Friday with one of our fabulous correspondents. Today it is the owner and president of ES Advisors, which is a consulting group for public policy and electoral campaigns, one Edward M. Sanders. Good morning, Ed. Mr. Sanders, welcome. Okay, well, I know he's there.
I come off mute to tell you good morning. Good morning to you.
Okay, so you're on your Zoom energy right now. You're in your Zoom vibe. One Zoom meeting after another. You get that Zoom mute trigger finger going. How are you, Ed?
I'm not bad. Happy Friday to you. It was a hot one yesterday. It sounded like we got some hot weather coming our way.
Yeah, well, from what I understand, it was meant to cool down a little today, but we'll see what that really looks like. Because it's finally feeling like summer around here on the left coast.
Yeah, we need a good summer. I need a couple days of warm weather.
Yes, indeed. Well, I know I'm here for it. I'm built for LA. I'm much better for heat than cold. But in any case, there's a lot going on, and one of the things I'm really looking forward to talking to you about is the governor's race. Your friend, the Vice President of the United States, emeritus, when Kamala Harris has decided not to run. And, so some folks, when by some folks I mean the LA Times, are saying that means that it's a wide open race with no front runner. I know you actually personally know a couple of the folks that are running, probably several of them, I imagine. And so I'm expecting you to be on full Ed diplomacy mode and not pick a front runner. However, I'm sure you have some insights.
No, I think, look, a lot of the conversation around the governor's race focused on Kamala Harris as sort of the biggest name in California politics. You do have some big names out there. You still have, Katie Porter, you've got former Mayor Villaragosa, I think Tony Thurmond, a lot of good folks looking at it. But I think what you get now is a focus more towards the issues. Kamala was such a big name that it was, and I think donors were holding back to see if she was going to get in the race. And so now all of the candidates that are in the race have a chance to get out and talk about the issues that they want to attack while they are governors.
I mean, she won't suck up all the media spotlight in the room, that's for sure. But I wonder if this Chad Bianco dude really has a chance. I know we have a super majority in the statewide offices, the Assembly and the Senate, super majority of Democrats. And we haven't had a Republican governor for a while, but when I saw the long list of these MAGA sheriff, cowboy hat wearing sheriff dudes that are endorsing this guy and the amount of money that he already has in his coffers, it really made me wonder if we could see with all these Dems, I mean, I guess it'll consolidate once we get past the primary, but it really made me wonder if we could see a serious run for the top office in the state by a MAGA dude.
I tend to think not, but I will also say this: if the governor's race somehow turns on one of those MAGA issues that drives him to the polls, you could. Let's just take LA County locally, right? We've elected more conservative DAs, more conservative sheriffs over the past couple of years. And those are sort of reactions to single issues, right? Reactions to crime. If somehow know what Bianco's getting up on. I assume he's one of the immigration MAGA guys, but
Yeah, for
somehow
sure.
legal immigration. Yeah, that somehow is the issue that everyone in California is kind of thinking about. Like, when you ask people what are your first three concerns, if it's one of those MAGA issues, yeah, he can get up. He could. Generally, those guys don't ride well in California because they're not addressing the issues that we're looking at. They're not very good on education. They're not very good on healthcare, and they really aren't good on workforce development. So,
or human rights, or women's rights, or or many of the other things we consider.
Or any right,
right? Yeah,
or just being right,
far right only. But yeah, you got a point. It just seems like such a kind of upside down moment in time, right, with what's happening in Washington and how California has become sort of the target of the bullies. It seems like the amount of money that could pour in here and the amount that someone like, I don't know, Donald Trump might have invested in having a MAGA leader here. And then with all these Dems, well, it seems like we're at a perilous moment. But hopefully I'm just being paranoid in this perilous moment.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong. We are the target of so much, right? And not just the ICE grades. UCLA had some 500 million frozen on research grants or something like that. Across the board, their Project 2025 targets are being implemented in California, and for them, it's good press, right? Anytime you can go back to Alabama and say you kicked California, it makes you stronger in Alabama.
Yeah.
Right. It just is the nature of it. Our mayor is just the counter opposite to Donald Trump. We got a strong black woman that speaks for people. And so, yeah, she's going to inherit a lot of his vitriol. And so, yeah, we see it. It is what it is for the foreseeable future until we take back the House in a year and a half.
Until we take back the House. I love your optimism. Yeah, there's a lot going on around here, Mr. Sanders. And KBLA delegation, loved ones, look, you can bring stuff up or slap stuff down or talk about what me and Ed are bringing. It's always like that around here. We welcome you at 800-920-1580. Don't forget, you can hop in to the conversation virtually in the comments section on YouTube. It's youtube.com and then KBLA 1580. It's, it's a hot week, and we've got a fire, another fire out there in Ventura County, the Canyon Fire. It's touching a little bit of LA as well. It's at 5,000 acres, which is significant, if not huge, but it's just not something we want to hear in this year after what we've been through with fire. And it was those triple-digit temperatures, so we'll keep you up to date on what's happening with that, and we'll check in with some other things going on around this left coast space. 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DiPrima. He's Ed Sanders, and you know where you are, unapologetically progressive KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Small businesses are the heart of America. But you don't have to go it alone. As the nation's largest nonprofit resource of expert business mentoring, SCORE has helped millions of entrepreneurs build their businesses for free. Get the connections, education, and guidance you need with SCORE. We're ready to help. Find a mentor today at score.org.
The Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up! Oscar!
You hear that? That's Mike, sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. That's because Mike was smart this time. He took ZzzQuil Ultra to fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs. So now he wakes up refreshed and ready to conquer Mondays.
Let's do this Monday.
ZzzQuil Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, it's Matt, your leaf filter trusted pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/deal. That's leaffilter.com/deal.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
Right now. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so much going on. So this canyon fire is at 5,000. There's a big 100,000 acre blaze in San Luis Obispo. We've seen some triple-digit temperatures, and that's what makes the fire danger even higher, along with some of this wind. It's supposed to cool down somewhat, but it's just a good time to be real careful. And there's an article in the LA Times today talking about how the fire season from 1990 to now, fire season is now starting 6 weeks earlier because of climate change. Now, I know we're in the era of climate denial, but that is a lot. I mean, we're from 1990 to now, we've got 6 weeks, a huge change in our fire season, which means a lot more dangerous, time. 6 weeks, you can burn down a whole lot in 6 weeks.
Yeah, we've seen, really the last 20 years, we've seen the amount of rain falling in California get really hard to predict. And for a number of those years there, we were really dry. And so, a hot summer combined with rain that didn't come in as much rain as you expected. So, but generally just a storm or two is all it takes to get all of that brush to grow. And then it dries out, and then it's just sitting there waiting to catch fire. And, I think if we went back over the last 15 years, the size of the wildfires that have hit, California, and really not just the California, it really is the Western United States. I think we call it climate change, but it really is, the lack of rain, and that is in part due to climate change itself. But we're in drought-like conditions on the west side, so we're always going to be prone to fires.
Yeah. So be careful, be careful. Okay, they're talking about this in the chat. Yesterday, Ed, we started this thing. We're going to name Thursday. Actually, Kwamel Allah, one of our honorable mentions there in the chat delegation, started this off because we have names for every day of the week. We have Mindful Monday, Talking Point Tuesday, Wealth Building Wednesday, and Freedman Friday. So Lonely Little Thursday doesn't have a name. And there are we started a contest. There's so many people that have weighed in. I guess Miles and I said we're going to put it up on Instagram today and let you guys select which ones you think are the best. And we'll narrow it down. Once we narrow it down, we'll do a poll, and then we'll pick a winner. And the winner is going to get a knowledge pack, I'll call it, of a bunch of great books. Kwamel says he should get a prize because he's the one that started this whole thing. What do you say, Ed? Does Kwamel deserve a finder's prize?
That.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a great idea.
Ed supports it
because I turned on Netflix last night, and there's some movie called Wednesday.
Oh yeah. No, you're talking about the show Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's good.
When you said Thursday, I'm like, we should do a KBLA Thursday show.
Just call it Thursday.
Yeah.
Forget it. Just call it Thursday. Yeah. There's a lot of good ones. Therapeutic Thursday, Tell It Thursday, Thriving Thursday, Tell the Truth Thursday, Tasteful Tidbit Thursday, Thoughtful Thursday. So far, I'm really feeling Think Tank Thursday, but it's not up to me. I named the other 4 days. Tattletale Thursday is one. Political Tell-All Thursday, Uncompressed Thursday, and last night I thought maybe Thug It Out Thursday might be a good one. I don't know. So we're still taking. We'll still take suggestions all through today. I have the list with, Jerry did say Thirsty Thursday, Gerry Anderson. I have the list with the person who gave the suggestion, and we're going to put it up on my Instagram, which is diprimaradio, DIPRIMA. Then you guys can vote, and then we will take it down to the top 2 and get a winner. So if you have any ideas, Ed, you're welcome.
Good. Thank you, Kwamel.
Paul says that's Kwamel's black tax. But so that's the thing, and that'll be fun because we'll have a name for Thursday, and then we'll have to get something that matches the name in terms of programming. Creepy story, but since you're so much in the sports space, I'll bring it up to you, which is these people throwing sex toys on the court during WNBA games. They arrested a teenager for doing this in Phoenix. He hit a guy with it, and maybe a young girl sitting in front of the guy. I don't know if that's assault or whatever, but they booked him public display of obscene materials. Oh yeah, and 2 counts of assault. So, but apparently this is kind of spreading, and it's happened at more than one game. I don't know. It's so I don't like it when people throw stuff or talk smack to the players. Fans should just be talking smack to each other. That's what we have other fans for. I don't know. What do you say about this, Ed?
It's funny. There's a lot of little threads you could kind of follow with this. The WNBA is really its own special case in sports and relationship with fans, right? And I think in the last 2 years we've seen the emergence of a much stronger fan base, for whatever reason. But even in that, it's tainted, right, with the Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, the race dynamic there, and that always seems to come out in any sports conversation. What the WNBA is also getting is it's always had this, they're women, they can't play, or women, they can't dunk. There's all the reasons to,
right.
You're in the fan boards on why you don't like it. What I was thinking when I started seeing these sex toys being thrown on, and now you look to see who they're arresting. it looks like it's going to be like single guys in their 20s. And I remember what that triggered for me was this conversation we had about, those guys sitting at home, single.
Talking about the incels.
The incels, yeah. And it feels like
says the married man.
Says the married guy, right?
Yeah.
I don't understand them, but it feels like that's what this group is now.
Yeah, I mean, there's some crypto group that initially took credit, and I guess they were trying to go, quote unquote, viral, but now other people have taken it up. It's just, I mean, I guess put against the context of what you're saying, which is attitudes toward the WNBA and the lack of respect that they get in the environment of the total sports world. It just feels really just misogynistic, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and now look at the explanations, right? I think even in the headline in the paper this morning, it's just a stupid prank, right? Yeah. And, that's always been a refrain. Remember there have been black college students or students that are black at colleges that wake up to see nooses in trees, nooses in the dorm room. And the response there has always been, oh, it's just a prank, right? And it's just sort of this use of bad behavior that gets thrown out. But for us, we've always seen the core root of it. And we could see it here as well with these sex toys on the court. And you just can't excuse it as a stupid prank.
Yeah, but you think they'd be throwing a sex toy in the ring with Mayweather? I mean, see what happens if you do that. See what happens.
Do it at an NBA game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, at an NBA game, right. Let's see one of those, right, hit, LeBron or something. Let's see. It just feels, that's what, it feels misogynistic. It's like, you ain't going to you're not going to be throwing sex toys at men, that grown man. Mess around and get your butt beat.
Yeah, no, that's not what they're doing. They're throwing sex toys on the court, and then they go home and probably tell LeBron on Instagram that he's not the greatest. It's that
right, and then they go back to sleep in their mama's basement.
Right.
Yeah, I just want to call it out for being sexist. We only got a couple minutes here. These stories freak me out, and it's not just because I'm 5'2" and small, but a little kid was attacked by a coyote at a park in Carson during his sister's softball game. This is Monday at Del Amo Park. This is not way out in the canyons. This is in Carson by Compton. They said that he was just there at the park watching his sister's softball game, and the mama said all of a sudden she heard screaming, and a coyote had jumped on this 6-year-old kid. And that freaks me out, Ed. I know we supposedly live in the city, but to me it's country. I see coyotes. I see big old raccoons. I see possums that look like they should be in Mississippi somewhere. And they're getting bolder. These bears.
Well, their habitat is shrinking, right? Like, their habitat is changing. They're, right, like, yes, we're in a city, but we're in a city built on top of their habitat, and just think back during COVID. I remember during COVID walking outside and, seeing all kind of coyotes in the neighborhood and skunks and all kind of animals that I hadn't seen before because we weren't out in the streets, right? Like,
yeah, but I mean, a softball game, you've got a crowd, the people on the field, you know what I mean? It's not some quiet. This coyote just came on up and said, "Hi, I'm gonna have me a 6-year-old boy for lunch." That's crazy.
Yeah, but I didn't see that. But did the kid wander off away from people? Coyotes don't come towards people.
No,
like that,
he was watching his sister's game,
sitting next to his mom.
I don't think it was right next to his mom, no, but still, he wasn't that far away. It bit the back of his head. It bit both of his legs.
The mom didn't have an eye on this kid.
Yeah, all right, Candace, bye. Girl, bye. 20 stitches. Anyway, news, traffic, and sports, and then more with Ed Sanders and Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Tammy Eswick with BIN News Now. Investigators say the gunman at Fort Stewart in Georgia, who was an active duty military member, used his own personal handgun in the shooting, not an Army-issued weapon. 5 soldiers are now recovering after that shooting.
One soldier remains as an inpatient here at Wynn Army, right here on Fort Stewart. She's doing very well and high spirits. Of course, she's got a little bit of a road to recovery.
A lawyer for Sean Diddy Combs is asking the judge for home confinement after the convicted rap mogul was found guilty last month on 2 prostitution-related charges. Finally, Freddie Gibbs and The Alchemist are planning a tour. They plan stops in Brooklyn, Atlanta, Chicago, and Los Angeles, to name a few places. Freddie Gibbs, by the way, is a black rapper, and the tour kicks off September 20th. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Ignite your afternoons at Waba Grill's $5 happy hour with our 5-piece pork veggie dumplings and a value-sized premium beverage drink, like our tangy passion fruit lemonade. Enjoy $5 happy hour weekdays after 3 p.m. Only at Waba Grill.
Spending 2 hours staring at the back of someone's bumper isn't the best way to end your day. So Jack in the Box is giving you a bonus with their new Bonus Jack Combo. Fries, a drink, and a burger with your choice of 1, 2, or 3 patties, starting at just $4.49. Get so much more.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Jacksonville Jaguars head coach Liam Cohen said Ricky Travis Hunter will play wide receiver and cornerback in the team's NFL preseason opener Saturday night against Pittsburgh. Folks have been waiting to see how Cohen would use the Heisman Trophy winner. Hunter played both ways in his last 2 years at Colorado. Cohen has not said how long Hunter will stay on the field in Saturday's game. Jackson State is the only HBCU football team listed in the top 25 preseason Division I AA poll. Jackson State, the defending Black College Football National Champion, is ranked 17th in the poll. Jackson State is coming off a 12-2 season. They beat South Carolina State last season to win the Celebration Bowl. The Dodgers and Angels are off today. Both teams are back in action tomorrow. The Dodgers are at home against Toronto. The Angels begin a 3-game road trip at Detroit. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Become a U.S. citizen with the help of the Los Angeles Public Library. Get free and confidential information on immigration and citizenship. Visit lapl.org/NAI to find your nearest library or call us at 213-228-7390. That's lapl.org/NAI or 213-228-7390 and start your path to becoming a U.S. citizen with the help of the Los Angeles Public Library. Call 213-228-7390 or visit lapl.org/NAI.
Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind: to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my 2 sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-687-7979. That's 800-687-7979. 800-687-7979.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now. I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code TAXI for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code TAXI for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code TAXI.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
You know, y'all are pretty judgy in the chat about about the Coyote situation. So I read a little more on it. The kid was in the playground with other kids, which is right adjacent to where the softball field is. And that coyote went over into the playground and attacked that little boy. I'm sorry, you as a mama, you cannot keep your eye on your kid every second of the day. If you're in the playground with other kids, you're in a park, there's a softball game going on, you assume it's safe. Y'all are pretty doggone judgy. And supposedly, coyote attacks are very rare, according to wildlife officials. That part I'm not sure I believe. I saw a coyote, a big old coyote, walking down Angeles Vista the other day, Ed, and it was light outside. It was like 3:30 in the afternoon, and this coyote was just like strolling down the hill towards Crenshaw.
But he didn't stroll towards you. Coyotes
I was
don't
in
really
my
go towards
car. It better not stroll towards me. It's going to be roadkill. I'm sorry. I'm not in PETA. I'm in People for the Ethical Treatment of People. That's the organization I'm in, not People for. I eat animals. You better back up. I eat animals. You could be a coyote sandwich in a minute.
Coyotes have rights too.
Do they now? Here's the thing. Forensic accountant says don't be a parent, non-negotiable. You must not have kids, or else your baby mama was watching the kid, because
because you're not a kid until the baby rolls off the bed the first time. Kids, they're gonna have little issues. Coyotes, cars, all that sort of stuff.
I mean, kids, they have their own little legs and they go kind of fast. You cannot hold them by the hand every second until they're in college. That's just not realistic.
Nah, and that's not even parenting that way. That's actually the problem I think we have now with this generation.
There's a whole sign in my neighborhood that says coyote danger, and then it tells you what to do if you see one. You're supposed to flap your hands and look big. I'm 5'2", okay, and a buck, so I'm not going to be flapping my hands at no coyote or a raccoon, which are basically bears. I found that out from my kid, that raccoons are in the bear family, so you don't need to be. Right. And I go.
Something new today.
Guess who's going back in the house and waiting it out? If I'm late to this show, that means there was a coyote or a large raccoon. I will wait until they decide to leave, and then I will go get in my car.
But look, coyotes eat like small pets, right? Like they don't tackle big German shepherds. They don't take on like big dogs. So to me, the kid had to have been pretty small.
You're so stupid.
And here I am. I'm blaming the victim. I'm blaming the poor little kid for being small, right?
Well, but these things are getting bolder and bolder. How small is small? You're 6 foot, what, 4 or 5?
Yeah, coyote.
Easy for you to say. They're definitely not going to jump on you. I'm 5'2". I don't know. Anyway.
I haven't seen a coyote attack 5'2" yet, but we'll see.
Well, let's hope not. Okay, so, man, this story about it's Pride. It's South LA Pride this week. I have my shirt on, crowns up, the LA Legends. It's a women's football team. They're going to be playing at South LA Pride, doing some exhibition games at the Michelle and Barack Obama Center. If you want to go, they're going to have bands. They're going to have food trucks. The whole bit. And the Times has a story today about how the military is denying retirement pay to transgender troops. So there's at least 4,200 of these people. that have a diagnosis of gender dysphoria. They're being outed by this is the Air Force they're talking about here. They're outing them even if they have 15 years of service, which if you've served 15 years in the military, you're supposed to be able to retire with benefits. They don't care. If they're trans, they're offering them a payout to leave, but they will not give them retirement. And if they force them to leave, if they don't take the payout, they're going to make them leave with no retirement, no benefits, no matter how much time they've served. And now they're saying that they're going to talk to doctors and other troops so that if folks haven't admitted to being trans, they're going to hunt them down and take them out of all branches of the military. That just sounds so Nazi-ish to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's so Trump, it's so Hegseth, it's so on character for them. And it's kind of exhausting. I mean, at a certain point, listen, we live in a country, we're all here. If you serve, right? And I should be able to serve with, a country guy from Mississippi that doesn't like black folks, and he should be able to serve with me. And this thing on against sort of the transgender folks, it just is such a. It seems like such a basic human emotion that you're different from me, and so I've got to go kill you. I got to go attack you. All that sort of stuff, and it just seems so like we're now 2025, and I struggle to see how so many people can have such hate towards a group of people, right?
I mean, and it's also just plain old discriminatory hate if you want to. If I served 15 years and that's a requirement to be able to retire with benefits, then guess what? You have to give me my benefits. I mean, they talk about DEI. This is a form of DEI in that they're only prioritizing, heterosexual, cisgender people and just targeting people who are transgender. And here's what I guarantee you, some of those troops that they're removing are going to be in crucial positions that they're not able to replace right away, that are highly skilled, and this is going to create other problems for them. Watch, mark my words on that. But the fact that they would go through and just out people and kick them off of their job with no benefits, it really makes me mad. It's they've done their time. They've served their country. Some of them have been to Afghanistan and other battlefields. Come on.
Yeah, it goes against like this, right? Like, for Americans, we feel like the honest day's work, you get an honest day's pay, right? And, organized labor has fought for that, and just about everyone that works for a company or someone in America feels that, right? If I put down, some honest work and you owe me, you should pay. And to change the rules at the, 15 years in, that's just wrong, right? And, it's going to be one of those more other tests that, all these tests that are coming from the court system, and we'll have to see what Amy Coney Barrett and all that say and all that sort of stuff. But, it just goes against American values. That's one of these values that we got to redefine right now in 2025.
Which Americans' values? I'm just kidding. But yeah, I mean, I think Paul is right. He says, notice they've been following the Project 2025 playbook exactly. And the goal is to destroy all worker protections, not just for trans people, which is a great point, for everybody. But it's, it just seems so terrible. I serve my time. You don't want me here. You're kicking me off my job that I love for a discriminatory reason, which the Supreme Court is allowing. And now I don't even get what I'm due, what I've earned. I don't see how you can justify that. The courts let that go. They need to be just
well, if they let that go, it's real trouble for a lot of other groups in this country that are on the the anti-MAGA list. You know, we as African Americans sit at the top, and you know, Latinos right behind, and you know, any other little group that you can think of that Southern and Midwestern white people don't like.
Yep. When we come forward, I want to get your thoughts, Ed, on the latest with the UC system. Now, the president is saying our colleges have to prove that they don't consider race in admissions. This DEI thing has gotten to be sort of an excuse for all kinds of draconian measures. Love to get your thoughts. If you want to weigh in, 800-920-1580. Whatever's on your mind, whatever's got you talking, love to hear it. I'm Dominique DiPrima. That's Ed Sanders, and this is KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is an intervention. When we come forward, includes you. KBLA Talk 1580, turning pain into power.
You have cancer. The 3 words no one wants to hear. Of the cancers that impact our community, lung cancer is the most dangerous. More people succumb to lung cancer than colon, breast, and prostate combined. Black men are 12% more likely to develop lung cancer, and cases for black women are rising. Early detection and comprehensive treatment is the best way to beat this dreaded disease. Providence is a research leader in multi-cancer early detection, offering blood tests that identify fast-spreading cancers that don't show symptoms in early stages. The Providence Los Angeles Integrated Network Cancer Program determines best protocols for each patient, interacting with specialists who share experiences, perspectives, and new findings specific to each case. With over 1,000 board-certified physicians, including top oncologists, surgeons, radiologists, and nurse specialists, Providence delivers whole-person care that understands your culture, values, preferences, and priorities. So, if you hear the words, "you have cancer," all you need is faith and providence.org/cancer.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where everybody is somebody and nobody is a stranger. You belong here.
Okay, I got to let you have your say on this, Ed, because we've been talking about you since 2 weeks ago when you and I had our little disagreement about the gerrymandering in Texas and the governor of California's response, saying he was going to gerrymander those gerrymanders into oblivion. Newsom now saying we may be able to counter those 5 seats. And other Democratic governors are following suit. And I said, I'm tired of Dems showing up with a knife to a gunfight, and we got to push back and do something. You said it's first of all unethical, and then it can create this ever-escalating cycle of gerrymandering. A lot has happened since then, and Texas lawmakers walked off the job to try to stop that redrawing of maps, which was meant to give Donald Trump 5 more Republican districts, which he claims he's owed. And then the California plan took shape. The governor now saying it will have a trigger in it. It'll only be taking effect if voters approve it. If Texas's gerrymander goes through, other states, New York and others, are now also saying they will do the same. And I'm wondering if you feel any different now that this has become a much more widespread mess.
No, I don't, because I think the element that I really raised was that, you know, taking this argument up over a few House seats is not addressing the problem. If we're going to talk about gerrymandering, we got to talk about the U.S. Senate, and we got to talk about why California only has 2 senators, and Idaho has 2 senators. Montana has 2 senators. North Dakota and South Dakota both have 2 senators. I'm saying if you're going to take the fight, take the real fight. Don't take this fight. And it does us no good to have this conversation about, 5 House seats in California, have the conversation about correcting the Senate. There were, what did we count that one day? 14, 16 senators that of small states that if you totaled up all of California's population, we should have that sort of a allotment in the U.S. Senate. That's where this conversation should be, not about, these 5 seats in Texas.
Yeah, well, but really, if we sit back and do nothing, which it sounds like what you're advocating, they could have a permanent majority in the House of Representatives. That's not just a few seats. We're talking about they already have the Senate. They already have the extreme court, which they cheated to get the supermajority they have. Let's be real about that. And we sat back and said, oh, okay, you won't give Merrick Garland a hearing. Oh, okay, you're going to force Amy Coney Barrett down our throats. Oh, okay, so for the rest of our life, we have this extremely craven activist Project 2025 Supreme Court. And now you're like, oh, it's just a few House seats. No, that could be a permanent majority. Even if we manage to get somebody in the White House, and we don't ever, and I agree with you about the Senate, but that ain't going to happen in the next 3 months. It ain't going to happen before the 2026 primaries.
But if you can galvanize Democratic governors across the country to deal with this, deal with the real issue. It's like, it's putting it doesn't solve the issue at all. It stops maybe, this cycle, but that could come back around. Deal with the real issue, which is that the true power in the country is being held by this Republican Party that has this power in the Senate. Even if you get the House, the Senate is the problem. And so, I don't know. It just seems like
the Senate is the problem. The Electoral College is the problem. No term limits in the Supreme Court is the problem. No D.C. statehood is the problem. I mean, the problems are multiple and myriad, but the thing is, what do we do right now? You know what I mean? It's unlikely we're going to get term limits or more seats on the U.S. Supreme Court, because that has to go through Congress, and they have both houses. It's unlikely that we're going to get rid of the Electoral College anytime soon, because it takes a majority of states, and even though some have passed, actually a pretty decent number have passed these trigger laws, where if enough states do it, their laws trigger and they'll support it. But right now, these are things that are years, even a decade away. And what we're talking about is a situation where Republicans, MAGA Republicans specifically, can consolidate power in a way that where the damage we've seen in 6 months of this presidency would go on beyond even after he who shall not be named is out of the White House.
Yeah, but that's the whole point. We're focusing on the gamemanship of it. And we're not focusing on the true issue in that. And what you just laid out is the real concern. And the Democratic Party is trying to maintain a base without addressing its own shortcomings. And the Democratic Party has got to speak to the issue that you just raised at the end as to why this administration and why the Republican government is hurting people. That's the biggest thing that they can do. It's not just, we could move seats, and the Democratic Party has to find its voice and mobilize. And it's got to have its own reckoning that comes out stronger on the issues that matter to people. That's what this is about. You can draw the map how you like it.
Okay. Gerry says the bicameralism of Congress was one of the checks and balances of the founders. I don't know, checks and balances. To me, it's one of the things that's meant to keep slave states from having too much power. In states with people that they don't want to count. But I don't think that, I don't know. I understand what you're saying, and I agree with you. The Democratic Party needs to stop being so doggone corporate, get off its butt, and address the real needs of the people. That said, we have a midterm election in like a few months. So what are you suggesting we do? Stay on our high horse and watch them gerrymander? J.D. Vance had a meeting, Indiana yesterday. They're not going to just stop with Texas.
Listen, I'm going to say it one more time. They've got to figure out how to talk to white people. Like, you know, they have let the Republican Party just become the party of white people, and the billionaire class is bilking the working class.
See,
the working class
and
goes
you
right
and I,
along with
this
it.
is where I don't agree. Forget them white people. Super serve your base. They got to learn to talk to black people and Latino people and LGBTQ people and women. Well, you know what? If black people, if Latinos wouldn't have broken for Trump, if black people would have, and women and young people would have voted in larger numbers, they would have won. The difference for Kamala was pretty small, and especially in those swing states, if you even buy that the Republicans didn't cheat. The fact is, they need to super serve their base and stop trying to be Republican light. If we had enthusiasm and a real voter turnout, they wouldn't need to be pandering to the so-called independent swing voter.
No, but it's not. It's not just that. It really is. I think we're at a point in the country where, you know, the ethnic vote is lost on voters, right? Even within the black community, right? I think we can see candidates that their support, even black candidates, their support within the black community is waned, right? This issue really comes back to the Democratic Party being able to talk to people about their future, and that's just not where the Democratic Party is, Dominique.
They're going to have to. They're going to have to
they
walk
do
the
not
walk
have the pulse
too.
of the people.
No,
right?
I agree with
they
that.
do not have the pulse of the people. They're not talking about the issue that people want to talk about, and they're trying to cover up their shortcoming by saying, "Oh, they're changing the map." That is wrong. Get back to the basics of political organizing and talk. I got to tell you, if I'm a party person, if I can't explain to you how the Democratic Party is going to help you make money over the next 4 to 5 years, if I can't tell you how you get all of those things, and I can't tell you why the Republicans are bilking you, what are we doing? That's not politics.
Yeah, but I don't. It's not just the economy. I mean, that is part of it. These people are. A lot of people are swallowing these tariffs, you know, whole. And how is that helping anybody?
But the billionaire class, right? I mean, it is helping the billionaire class.
Really? How so?
I mean, they're making money on it.
We'll see. We're going to see. I think they're even getting a little worried. But the point of, I mean, I think it's also more than about talking, because it seems like the Democrats come talking a good game election season. We need walking. And Biden did do some student loan forgiveness, which is being undone, and other things that are popular, which are now being undone. But it just feels like it's too much talking and not enough walking the walk.
Yeah, I mean that's the gist of it. I mean, I think, you know, I don't hold the Biden presidency in high regard. I don't feel like it accomplished very much. You know, and that I think it served its purpose. It stopped Trump's second term, but it didn't do anything to advance the Democratic Party.
It delayed Trump's second term. Yeah.
Yeah, and it just set Trump up for the second victory. We just have to get back to policy that is driven from the base up, right? Like that's what I'm getting at.
Well, and that's
what dictated to us from the Democratic Party. I don't think we have a process for the Democratic Party to receive policies and put them out there.
I say listen to the progressive wing of the party, because those folks, things like universal health care are very popular with the people, even Republicans. It's just that the party's too wimpy to go hard for those kind of policies.
Well, yeah, that's because we're not driving the issues from the top up. I mean, from the bottom up. We're allowing, you know, when is the last piece of legislation you saw introduced by an organized movement?
Well, this is California, so we could say Measure J. That's a whole other conversation for a whole other day.
On the federal side.
On the federal side. Fair point. Ed Sanders, it's always fun talking with you. I have a feeling this gerrymander conversation is going to be going on for a minute. If you want to talk to Ed on social media, head on over to X, Edward M. Sanders.
Dominique, have a great Friday.
And you as well. Freedman Friday is next. It's time to talk reparations. KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Tammy Eswick with BIN News Now. Investigators say the gunman at Fort Stewart in Georgia, who was an active duty military member, used his own personal handgun in the shooting, not an Army-issued weapon. 5 soldiers are now recovering after that shooting.
One soldier remains as an